Another question you might be asking yourself at this time of year is, how can I work smarter, not harder, in the year ahead? And I want to take you through a little process I use with my clients, and I recommend that you do too. So first of all, I want you to take a sheet of paper and write across the top: attract, nurture, sell, and deliver. These are really the four kind of key areas that we do in business: how we attract, how people find us in the first place and come into our world. Nurture is how we then keep communicating with them. The third way is sell. So how do you actually sell your offers? Are you launching? Do you have evergreen sales funnels? And then the final one is, how do you deliver your offers? How much admin, how time intensive is that? How do you create a really incredible experience for people while it's not all manual, where you're making the most of things like automations, someone takes an action and then an automation runs, so that when you are working with clients, they're getting the best of you, you've got the energy to do all of that. And for those things that could be more admin based, you can do that as well. So you've got those four columns: attract, nurture, sell, and deliver. And for each of those, I'd have a little think about, what are you currently doing that's working? What are you currently doing in each of those areas that's working well for you? And then, what do you want to release? What are you putting time or energy, effort into that isn't working for you? And there's nuance and discernment here. It might be that you are testing something, you haven't quite found your feet with it, but you know that you've got more work to do in that testing process. Or it might be that you are kind of methodically just doing the same thing, say posting on social media, not seeing a return on it in terms of people coming to your website or communicating with you or buying from you. And it's raising that question of, like, is this the best use of my time? Are there other ways I can do things? Are there ways that I can connect with and nurture people that are more aligned to how I want to run my business, and use the time that I'm currently spending on this for that instead? So what's working well? What do you want to release doing? And then the third one is, like, where are the gaps? When you look at this, you might find that actually you do pretty well with nurturing and with selling and delivering, but actually the attract element is one that you need to put more focus and attention onto. You've got it's almost like there are missing pieces there. Or it might be another area for you. It might be that you're really good at attracting, nurturing, and selling, but when it comes to delivery, you're run ragged trying to deliver for the amount of work that you have. So having more efficient systems in delivery is a kind of key focus that you want to look at. And then choose one or two key things that you want to prioritize for quarter one, the beginning of next year. Having too many things, it can totally overload, and nothing quite gets done. You don't get traction on any of them. If you're like working on 4 things at the same time, none of them are completed, you're not getting the benefit for them, but you're putting all this time in, and it can be absolutely exhausting. So by picking 1 or 2 things, doing them till they're done, having them in place, you start getting the benefit from that, and then you can move on to the next things as well. So as I say, even if you have maybe 4 or 5 things that you're like, I'd really like to get these things done, pick out the 1 or 2 that are most a priority, that are likely to have an effect on everything else, that are, if you like, your kind of lowest hanging fruit in terms of getting a return on the time you spend on that thing. And those become your priority for the beginning of the year. And then it's thinking through, how can you make things simpler and smoother? How can you, if you're already doing something that's working well, say in Attract, how can you put systems in place so that is as smooth and as admin light for you as possible? Now, I go into this in a whole lot of detail in a free training called Simplify Operations. So I'll pop the link for that by this video. But in terms of you looking at the workload and working out how can you simplify, how can you put automations and leveraging in, I really recommend going and having a look at that, because it gives some very practical examples as well. And then every month, I recommend having a business date with yourself, like a CEO date, where you look at what's working, look at what you've done in the last month, review what's working, how things are going, how your projects are going, and then decide what you want to do in the coming month. This just gives a really useful touch point. It's so easy for us to kind of get in a path, head down, do all the work, get on with things, but sometimes we just might need to course adjust a few degrees, or to reflect on what we're doing and come at things in a slightly different way. By setting aside this time every month, it just gives you the opportunity to do that. So I recommend putting those in the diary now. Like, they can always shuffle around, but put in an hour and a half, 2 hours every month for you to reflect on what's happened the month prior and what you want to do in the month ahead. Now, if you've got a VA, or if this is something you do, then I'd do it soon after the end of the month or near the beginning of the month, but so that you've got the data. And so if you, for example, have got your VA compiling data on website traffic, social media metrics, those kind of things, then you have that together so that you can look at it and see, okay, in this last month I've been focused on doing such and such a thing to attract. Let me have a little look now at, when I look at our marketing, where are the main channels where people are coming to us from? Is it from referrals? Is it from paid ads? Is it from, bundles you've been doing, those kind of things? If you don't have that data prior, then use your use your CEO date to go and do that work. Get those data together so that you can reflect on what's been, and then you're ready to go ahead into the next month. So, quick summary, have a little look at attract, nurture, sell, and deliver. What are you doing that's working well, you want to continue? What do you want to release or course adjust on? And then pick a couple of projects that you'll do in the next few months to prioritize, and you're aiming to do those things until they're done. So pick the ones that are going to have the biggest impact for you. Then bring those tasks into your monthly planning. So as you're reviewing each month and deciding what you're going to do next, you've got one eye on those big tasks and why they're important to you, so that you're then breaking that down into things that you're going to do on a daily basis off the back of your monthly planning. I hope you found this so useful. As I say, I'll pop the link to that Simplify Operations training for you as well. I think you'll find that really helpful too. And yeah, enjoy your planning, enjoy thinking about all the things that you're going to do. If we haven't met before, I'm Moira Fuller. I'm a business strategist and coach, and I help people put in systems, automations, leveraging what you do, so you spend less time on admin and more time doing the work that lights you up and selling more, helping more people with your business. Thanks so much for watching.